Hi, this is Tiny Tanya from 501.9 Atlanta Radio, and I'm here with my co-host, Shanti.
Hey.
And we have some amazing guests today who came out to join me on our journey with For the Love of Dance Hall. So, starting at the end, we have...
John.
Okay.
Night Rider.
Red Fox.
Screechy Dan, aka Mr. Inestimable.
LeeMajorDeBoss.
Yes. We're gonna just dive in a little bit on the history of you guys and like your journey, where you want to go, where you see yourself going in the next, you could say decade or so.
Yeah.
What's the plan? So we want to start with you, Mr. John, because you're new to this environment.
Yes, I am.
So you're like the baby of the group.
Right.
I was just say, it's like a welcome for you, right?
It is.
Good.
I come from a whole different realm of music.
Okay.
So this is like me jumping in, diving in head first to what it is to dance on the reggae. So I do pretty much lovers rock reggae.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do smooth singing and stuff like that. So in the next decade or two, I hope to be somewhat close to who they are and where they've been. You know.
Yeah.
Do you feel some pressure?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay, great.
I feel like home.
Okay.
Nice.
They make it easy.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They make it easy.
So,
Good welcoming.
Right.
yeah, you said different realm of music. Where do you come from?
So, originally my parents are from, my family's from Central America.
Okay.
So we do what we call punta music. We're Garifuna people.
Say that again.
Garifuna people.
Okay.
There's a lot of us in LA, all over the world.
Okay.
All over the States. So I play a lot of band. So what I do is I branched off, I have, there's 10 of us. So
Okay.
that's 10 opinions, 10 ideas.
Yeah.
So I have my own thing that I wanted to do, which was this.
Nice. Okay. And you just transition over.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Awesome. I love it.
Okay. Mr. Cool sitting here.
With the glasses.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Trying to see night.
My call sign is Night Rider.
Okay.
My real name is Rowan Octavius Baker.
Okay.
I'm from Jamaica,
Yes.
which you're supposed to know
Of
by
course,
now.
Happened.
When I was born, I grew up in Almontown, and then I moved to the U.S. at the age of 14, going on 15. When I came here, I came here in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay,
That's
New York.
right.
Big up Brooklyn.
Big up.
Boom, boom, boom,
Brooklyn.
bang. New York, that's a night right that come from. Anyway, when I came to New York, I met Screechy and two other guys, James Bond and Daddy Pekka.
Okay.
Three of my mentors, along with Nicodemus. He passed away already. But those three guys, Screechy, Daddy Pekka, and James Bond, they taught me how to DJ. I mean, I had it in me before, but from Jamaica, but when I got here, I was moving with these clowns. Yeah, they taught me how to do this.
Okay.
So, and from there, I took
There
off.
goes the legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bad Boy Step In, which is the main music
Big,
for me.
big
It
too.
wasn't the first music.
Okay.
I did like 3 songs before that. And then out of the group of 4, me, Screechy, James Bond, Daddy Pekka, I was the first one to put something on wax.
Okay.
When I say wax, record.
Yes. So you have a vinyl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And vinyl. That's the word.
We got you.
Yeah. And then now, you asked about future. At my age, I think I'm living a good life right now.
Love that.
Celebrate it. Yes.
I love my life.
Love that.
I'm a grandpa.
Okay, Grandpa.
When my grandkids call me and say, "Hey, Grandpa, where is?" I'm still trying to get used to it.
Yeah. Right.
But it's a good life. I'm living a good life, And you're trying to ask me about the future. The future is here. already. For me.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, love that.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love it, I love
that's
it.
our thing too.
yeah.
Okay,
We-
Mr.
we-
Middleman.
Mr.
We like
Fox.
mine.
Nigga man.
Mr. Middleman.
Yeah, when I woman call me nigga man, I love it at the nigga. So I said, yeah, so I'm Red Fox, you know, for the viewers, dancehall artist that started my early career in Jamaica, St. Catherine High School, and then migrated to Brooklyn at the age of 16, and started to work out on a sound system called LP International.
Okay.
And from there, I recorded my first song, Come Boogie Down,
Okay.
and then that's 1988. And then moving along, I did another song called Down in Jamaica. Some people may know it as Jamaica Nice, with an artist called Naturally, right? And then I linked up with a club DJ by the name of Sting International. And then we started, I started performing at the Underground nightclub, which I helped to bring him into the production, to start producing, because he had a knack for it, Yeah, and then eventually I recorded Pose Off with Screechy, which is beside me right here. We recorded Pose Off for the Tanya label, and then that led to me getting a major deal with Electra Records in 1993, I think.
So that's 5 years.
Huh?
Within
That's like 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I put out my debut album, As a Matter of Facts, right? And then I moved on to do another album called Face the Facts, right? And then I ended up touring with Maxi Priest for about a decade, just circling the world. And then after there, I came back home, start working on my career again because the tour took away a lot from my recording, so I had to come back home and really get a lot of material, back in circulation. So I ended up doing a ton load of singles ever since then, including Brooklyn Swing. I can't remember so much of them right now, but
There's plenty.
yeah,
right?
there's a lot of singles, and I have a new single now called Good with Jah. Yeah, that is at the present moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And working on my album, first album I'm putting together on my own, along with a guy called Taddy P, a bass player from Jamaica. So I'm still in production, working and mixing and stuff like that. As far as the future, as Light Rider says, he couldn't say it in a better way.
Yeah.
The present is the future.
Yeah. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're
Awesome.
like-minded.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Trouble and trouble and trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, Screechy,
Okay.
can't take the mic,
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Screechy.
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, me, I'm a Roberto, aka Screechy Dan.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
you said another name too, and then so we just had a conversation about dialect, right? And me understanding, but you went too fast. So what are you also known as?
Yeah, my other Monica is Mr. Inestimable. meaning, it's not a popular use word.
Okay.
Yeah, but it means someone who you can't determine what that person is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like a chameleon.
In terms of entertainment, you don't know if he's a singer, you're a rapper, you're a DJ or whatever. You do everything. You don't know
all
where
Yes.
to put this person.
Okay.
So that's why
Jack
I
of
use
all
that
trades.
moniker.
Yeah.
Cause people always tell me that. Say, I don't know where to put. You know what? You're not a DJ. You're not a this yet. I'm gonna just call you an entertainer.
Okay.
And this, yeah. But born in Kingston, JA.
Okay.
in a place where most of the known and veteran, most of Jamaica regarded veterans from, not all of them, but most of them, a place called Trenchtown. I was born, and yeah, 13th Street, you know, and which that became known as Concrete Jungle at that time, you know, political, you know, division.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
that's
anyway,
where Brooklyn stole it from.
ah,
That's where Brooklyn stole that term from, concrete jungle from.
oh yeah, that's a place in Western Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah, so migrated to America, you know, Brooklyn to be specific, at an early age. Yeah, went to junior high school, the whole thing, which a lot of people think Screechy John just came. Up to today, people think, oh, I just came to New York in the 90s and stuff like that.
You were here well before then.
Going to school.
Yeah, man. And I've been involved in music even from a tender age in Kingston, because as I always been around musicians in Trenchtown. Like,
Okay.
yeah, you ever heard of Toots and the Maytals? That was my neighbor and my father's friend.
Okay.
And in the back of my house was all the regarded superstars. Growing up, I used to see them in the yard behind my house,
Okay.
which is Willow Wilson. There's it's another reggae artist.
Okay.
You know, he's in Brooklyn. At his house, you used to find all the highly respected artists, and as a kid, I used to be among them in that yard. So, you know, and plus my father built me a sound system as a little kid, cause to keep me off the street of Trenchtown, because it wasn't a easy place. So, you know, so it did me well. It grew me to who I am to this day. So I've been playing music, my own records, so all of that embedded in me from that time. So migrated to America and going to school as a young youth in Brooklyn. You know, used to go to hooky party and touch the mic and, you know, freestyle before and stuff like that. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the first lyrics I wrote was 1979, and it was about flossing, what you wear and all of that. And fast forward where that is concerned, those ideas, when I start hearing those ideas on record, it was in the 90s with Biggie, because Biggie started talking about flossing, yeah, stuff. I said, wow, that was my first idea.
So that was you, right? All the way from 79.
Yeah, you know, so move along now. After these, doing these parties, hooky parties and stuff like that, you know, I met people along the way, people of the, you know, as I said before, like-minded, have the same interests, you know, as Night Rider said. With Night Rider, James Bond, Daddy Pecker, and later on Trevor Sparks. Yeah, and as we go along, more people added to the crew until we, you know, found ourselves with a name. Yeah, with the name we call Vital Family.
Yeah, family.
Yeah,
right.
we wanted to stay away from the posse and the crew, those titles. So we said family. Vital Family. And and as I said, fast forward, you know, time passed. We start getting shows. In the state and overseas, not off the strength of any recordings, off the strength of cassettes. Because the cassettes start go viral. Yeah. And cassette end up in Bermuda. Next thing you know, we are doing big shows in Bermuda off the strength of cassettes.
Were you guys selling them out the back of your trunk?
No.
That was an LA thing. So
it was like
definitely.
people used to collect cassettes.
So we gave them out.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave them out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you were introducing music to them.
Okay. Yeah, because I used to have stacks of blank cassettes.
Okay.
Yeah, not only because I still have thousands of cassettes and my tape deck, I still have them. So I used to stack up on like blank tapes and, you know, make copies. That was my thing, to sit down making copies.
Yeah.
I don't think about the time now, and hand them out. Not even know what I was doing.
Right.
But by nature, I was marketing
Yeah.
myself
Yeah,
and,
building an
and
audience.
everybody else.
Absolutely.
So you're an artist and a marketer.
Yeah.
He just, listen, he just
All
explained
things.
jack of all trades,
Yeah.
right? So he
Yeah.
does everything.
And that's something me and Red Fox talk about the importance of marketing and promotion. We
Right.
always talk about that, you know. But yeah, so moving forward now, it land us after the Strength of Cassette. It land us our first tour overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Bermuda, and we did a couple of shows. Me and James Bond. Night Rider wasn't with us. Me and James Bond, and then we went back a couple more times, you know. And after that, we started doing some studio. But the first time I appeared on wax
Okay.
and vinyl, it was a live show, 1983,
Okay.
April 10. It was on a Monday.
Specific dates, right?
That's an important date here.
That was my first time performing at such an event in
Like
the
a
city.
large magnitude.
Yeah, and this was in Manhattan. My first time performing in Manhattan in the city, and that's when I met Shiny. When after I came off stage, he asked me if I wrote those lyrics because he was thinking, you know. But yeah, so that was the first, and it was a live recording. Yeah, it came out on wax. So my first in studio recording was a song called DJ Pattern. We call it DJ Pattern. You know the MC.
Yeah.
We call it DJ in our culture. So it was a song called DJ Pattern where I'm impersonating artists, the voice, because I could change my voice. I used to do that a lot, you know, and I started out as a kid doing that, imitating cartoons and people's voices. So my first in studio recording was a song impersonating artists.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, make it sound like it's a bunch of artists collaborating.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my
Do
first.
you still have that tape too?
No, it's on vinyl.
It's on vinyl.
Okay,
It's
so
on
we gotta
vinyl.
figure out how to get these things
Yeah.
converted.
Right.
Exactly, and you know, good luck on finding it.
Hey, it's always a way. It's always a
Always
way.
a way.
That's what I'm saying. Does he have it? He was saying he has so many, and I'm like, is that one of the originals that you have?
No, I'm pretty much sure there's cassette. I have cassette with that song on it.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that was my first in studio recordings and the second one, I can't even remember the second one. I've done so many recordings, so I don't know which one to put at second, but I know my first.
Right.
Yeah. Which is important. That was the initial jump off.
Set it off, yeah.
Yeah, and after that, leading up, let's jump the hurdle and go straight to pose off. Yeah, because the pose off is one of the most significant moment. Yeah, and it wasn't even not written. Me and Fox just off the
it
head
was a
top.
freestyle.
She wanted to know about the Poom Poom short.
So that was gonna be my question. So my question was, who had the Poom Poom Short song?
Well,
that was Red Fox,
that's
right?
Pose Off.
So that your collaboration.
Both of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a conversation, and I was like, okay, with the Poom Poom Shorts, right?
Yeah.
So I had a question because I was gonna ask this later after we got to Mr. Majors. But what inspired y'all to do that?
The Boom Boom Shot.
Yes.
It was a parade,
What
right?
Poom Poom shorts you saw?
It was a parade.
A specific Poom Poom Shorts you saw, and he was like, I'm gonna make a song about that, right?
The idea sparked from when they have the Labor Day parade.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was going on. That was worn at that time.
And
Ladies was looking good in that boom boom thing.
yes. So there was a sound system, vital sound system, and set up on President Street. And we were there on the mic, and these girls were passing in their, carnival outfit.
Right.
You know about Labor Day,
Yeah.
right?
I know about Carnival.
Labor Day,
I've not heard
Eastern
about that
Parkway.
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
She's familiar with the Atlanta one.
You should go
and LA.
there and
Okay.
experience it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ladies,
Yeah, so
man,
That's how it came up there.
So that's how it came up.
Yeah, so the ladies were passing and Screechy was freestyling, you know, girls that look so sharp. And then, as he mentioned the word cassette, someone was recording, right? Because he was just playing around. And then you know, at the time, there's a guy called Paul Arassi who owns a sound system called Gibraltar. And that time we had a crew called Rough Entry.
Okay.
Right, it consists of Raven, which I did Bashman Party with, and Baja Jed, Nike Fungus, Shaggy, Mr. Easy.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of us. So
Okay.
anyway,
And by the way, Paul Arassi, as he mentioned, he's still tour with Shaggy as
Yeah.
part of
Okay.
the management crew.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
so I went to his house and he was playing the cassette back from the, you know, the little performance we were doing.
Right.
And then I heard Screechy freestyling
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't paying attention at the time. You know, we were just
Right.
joking
You're
around.
just doing stuff. Yeah.
And then it sparked the idea in my head that this can be something
It's
that's
gonna be
massive.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made up a part to it where, you know, the pose off in the boom boom shots. And then I saw him in this, there was this big clash with Addies and LP International. And, you know, I saw him in the clash and I said, you remember that little thing that you were singing? And, you know, this is what I came up with. And then, you know, Sting International.
And that hit was born.
Yeah.
That's a really cool song, right?
Yeah, and that particular recording session, because usually, like artists who collaborate is you usually have a separate track for yourself. And
Right.
But we both, when Sting, he mic us up, set up the 2 mics, and we both was in the voice room. The voice room bigger than this.
Okay.
It was a huge voice room, and we both did it on the same track. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one take, right?
Yeah,
It was one take.
we were freestyling.
Freestyling, and it
We
came
wrote-
out.
We didn't write down anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that song now, you know, and after those moments, the song, you know, we start doing a lot of shows, you know, the Apollo, and, you know, with KRS-One, Shabba Ranks, all over, you know.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
Leaders of the new school
At the time,
Yeah.
at the time.
You know,
TLC.
yeah,
We
TLC.
on some huge tour, and I end up getting a deal with Polygram Records
Okay.
and stuff like that. But you know, at the time, my lawyer was saying, yo, he dealt with a lot of contract,
Yeah.
and my contract is the best because we keep Xing out some pages. Me and my manager say, I don't like how that's so X.
You reading it good, yeah.
Yo, back and forth like 20 times, and I say, yo, I never seen this before. Like, and then the contract came down, and they was trying to, and my understanding of what you call advance. You say, yo, I don't want them people that give me no big money, like nothing like that. I just want what it takes to take care of the album.
Yeah.
Because advance, you have to pay everything back. And you don't get your own money until all of that paid back. So say, you know what? Give me 50 grand. Let me take care of that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That easily recoupable. So after that recoup, then I could get my royalties.
Yeah.
And you don't get your money until the whole 2 million get recouped.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get recouped, you owe the label.
Yeah.
Because it's not your money, it's a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists don't know that.
And it's still happening today.
Still happening
It's
to
still
this day,
happening
right?
today.
So I don't know them. And plus the $50,000, we put a clause. We add a clause in the contract, non-recoupable. So I don't.
So I'm not giving this back.
No, I don't owe them
That's
nothing.
fine.
Yeah, man. So it was non-recoupable, but at the time it wasn't direct to Polygram Records. It was a subsidiary called Payday. So we signed it to Payday under Polygram Records, but Payday, people who ran Payday at the time wasn't doing their part. So they have the songs I did. They have it sitting there for like months, and then I say, you know, one day we pick up the contract. Night Rider, the selector. Pull up. I'm at the place full up.
No, that's James Bond.
Big up band.
James Bond.
Yeah, but anyway, one day I pick up the contract, and I read the contract, and I realized a clause, Polygram, the distributor, the mother, yeah, it says will not accept nothing over such and such month. I say, yo, it been past this month. So I call manager at the time, and I say, yo, did you see that car? Look at it. And I say, you know what? They at fault. So go at the time I went up to Polygram by myself, and I went to the department of London Records, because Polygram, that's the mother label with a lot of kids under it. So under that umbrella, So I went to London Record, Peter Kopke or something like that in the year. I say, yo, Peter, since I signed with Payday, I say when I was touring with Red Fox, so I get all of us as a crew just independently running around. My fridge was full every day. I say, yo, I could take a picture of my fridge now and send it and show you. Not even water in my fridge, Peter. I say,
struggle going on.
I say, I said, Payday owe me some money, but with these subsidiary, what they do, when the mother label write a check sent to them, they put it in their account and let interest and keep you waiting for months. So I say, so where my cut?
It's collecting interest.
So Peter Kopke say, you didn't get no money. We sent a couple of checks. I said, nah. So Payday people at Payday got mad with me because I went around them. I say, I don't care about y'all. Y'all don't care about none of us. Yeah, man. So I end up getting myself off the label by myself, because at this time my manager say, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with these people, because it driving me to a rage, and I don't want to get street. So I say, I got it, because between my manager and my lawyer, I learned a lot of things from them. So I use what I learned and approach the situation myself. So I got myself released by myself in the room with these people. I say, look, I show them the class. I say, but we give thanks for the experience, because I think that's how it's supposed to be. Learn from it.
Learn lessons, and you don't have to do them again.
Exactly, and it came with a lot of good things, because I end up landing a big, what you call movie soundtrack in Wesley Snipes movie, and it was the first beginning of the movie, Sugar Hill.
Okay, I remember Sugar Hill.
When the club scene at the beginning, when everybody doing all kind of things, that was my music playing. Produced by Bobby Condos. Big up Bobby Condos. So me and Bobby Condos work on that soundtrack, and I'm getting royalty up to this day. Yeah.
Good for you.
And that was,
Yes.
Yeah, man. So, to cut my cat chatty.
But that's life. Sometimes bad set you up for good.
Man. So,
it's the way you just internalize it.
Yeah. So as far as where the future is concerned, I'm like-minded with my peers. So, that answered that question.
Okay.
So before we get to LeeMajors, I'm just gonna double back with the future. And the reason why I asked that is because in my personal life, I have a production company, of course, and I get contracts to work on tours with major artists. And I just did Wednesday night Wu-Tang Clan.
Wow.
So, and
Staten
I had to give them like the biggest shout out, because they're of age, you know what I'm saying? They gave a great performance.
Oh yeah,
like,
of course.
Wardrobe changes, everything. I mean, everybody, stage presence, A1.
And they're the biggest brand in hip hop.
One of the
biggest, I should say. One of the biggest rap days, non-stop.
So it always make me think anytime that I see groups from our past and the music that we grew up to, and when I see these artists come to the arena and work in these massive stages, like, why haven't you guys collectively tried to do something like that on that level? So that's why I asked about the future. You understand? Because
what do you mean, work collectively?
No, I'm saying I know that you have in the past. Right now, at this time, know what I'm saying? Because we have groups like the Eagles. They're like 80-something years old on tour.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
touring with their peers, you know. This one is the opening act, this is the middle act, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why haven't we done this in the Caribbean culture? Like, on those major platforms at this time? Because your music is still
But
relevant.
me and Fox always touring like constantly up to today from since then. Like
Yeah.
and at times we all end up on the same tour, or we end up meeting up are booked all together on the same stuff. But I mean we still doing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still doing those things.
That's coming in the future. Because you're
No,
doing it now, right?
that's we're doing that now.
We're doing it now.
Like for instance,
Yeah.
international.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like a U.S. tour.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. The international, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone, I think they do better when they go overseas.
Yeah,
in
if
that
you're talking
sense.
about a
But I'm
U.S.
talking about in U.S., like, you know, like you at Barclays, you at, you know,
Yeah.
State Farm Arena, you're
Yeah.
going to Houston and this and that within the U.S., like how these,
And that is
because
good.
it's needed.
That is good.
No, of course,
It's
of
good. It's
course,
been
of
done
course.
now because we see that Vibes Cartel did Barclays Center. We see that
Yeah.
Bush Banton did Barclays
Yeah,
Center.
and
So-
I actually
Bounty
worked
Killer is a boss.
both of those tours in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
but you must
Yeah.
understand, this is just a beginning situation that's just taking place where
Yeah.
dancehall is beginning to fill arenas like that as
Get
far
it-
as like
get its just
individual,
due, yeah.
as far as like
Individual,
individual
yeah.
artists, right? So it's a growing situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, the music itself has been through a lot of tribulations
Yeah.
because of negative stigma.
Controversies and stuff like
yeah.
that,
So reggae at this point, dancehall itself is being, you know, like refreshed again.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's growing. You know what I mean? So we have to give it some time within the U.S. because this is where the problem lies. Within the U.S.,
Yeah.
we've been going through all that controversy, as Screechy just said,
Yeah.
and you know, it was like pretty much like a decade where nothing really
Right.
took
That's
place.
what I was saying. Like,
Yeah, and that's
why?
because of controversy. But you know, give thanks, it's beginning to.
Like it's being reintroduced
Yes.
to a lot of people, you know,
Yeah.
especially I guess with the collaborations of American artists, and you know, so
Yeah.
a lot of people
Yeah,
are
there you
now
go.
more paying attention
It's
to
a
the
matter
music.
of, when it comes to
Yeah.
reggae,
Yeah.
from in the past, when it comes to reggae, producers, promoters, they always go back to the roots of reggae. Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't do your music from Jamaica, you are not seen as an artist that's coming from Jamaica.
Okay.
Okay.
With that vibes.
You have to put in
It's like a
extra work.
vibes thing.
Yeah.
You have to put in
Now,
extra work. Yeah.
I have to give respect to like Swazo, Witty, those men, they don't have that concept where they say, no, you don't come from Jamaica, you don't have that Jamaican vibes, so me not gonna use you. Those men, they look at us and they say, yeah man, come.
They include, they're inclusive.
Yeah, like what
Right.
Swazo is
Yeah.
doing now. Yeah, I respect that man
Yeah.
to the T.
Yeah. Because he's joining.
So that's part of it.
They recognize.
Yeah, they recognize us.
And I have a
So
big
that's
question.
part of it.
I have a big question. First, let me get to Mr. Majors, right?
Yes.
So
Patiently waiting.
patiently
Always.
waiting, right?
Always. No, listening
Yes.
and enjoying it.
That's okay. Mr. Majors. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you were still.
No, I
So
want
good
you to
conversation.
introduce yourself and past, present, future.
Okay. LeeMajors.
Yes.
The sound system world known me as LeeMajors, but now I reinvented myself to LeeMajorDeBoss.
Okay.
Rest in peace, my brother Joel T. Who put on the boss onto the name.
Yeah.
So LeeMajors, it's a grand story, but I'm just gonna chop it up.
Okay.
And it's a great story, and it continues. I came here in 1976 to America from a place in Central America called Panama, right? From I know myself as a kid, I mean, even before I could read or write, I was playing music because the family was so into music. 1979, I embarked in like reggae music, because we diverse family. So reggae music, after I hear reggae music, and reggae music it just grabbed me. It just grabbed my soul and just pulled me towards it. And there was no turning back. Just
Right.
forward, non-stop. So I started playing sound system. But my passion and love was to be an artist. That was really my passion. But I didn't make the cut at the time. So what I did now, it was play sound system and get there, but my main objective was to be an artist. So get there, and go. I said, not even to cut my story, for me I have a focus and I love passion and exclusive, it has to be exclusive passion. It can't be one day passion. Whatever you want to do, go for it. I'm a true testament of that. So kept on going and you know, killed a lot of sound musically with, you know, dub plates and records. And when I talk about physical, we talk about music wise, competitive wise. And then I lost a lot too, or won a lot. 1989, I won the best upcoming DJ in New York City. Remember when Star Tone kept that dance? Yeah. And it was just the career just kept on going, and sound system, of course. And so now, moving super fast forward to 2025, to 2021, I started recording. And I started to do my own recording, the Boss Entertainment. And from that, and I'm still dibble-dabbling into sound system culture, because even if I say to myself, you know, I'm not gonna leave it alone, but it's like sound system culture still has me go. And I've kept a lot of, you know, events, because I'm also a promoter, and I definitely give artists opportunities to showcase their talent, because that's the type of person I am, and I love the culture, and I like to see the youth advance.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't, because this panel here definitely were, you see, in Jamaica, growing up in Jamaica now, they had their Johnny Ringos and they had their U-Roys. These guys was my U-Roys. These guys, I grew up being inspired by these guys, listening to them and watching them and hanging with them. And one thing I never forgot was to always to be respectfully a fan. Because I didn't want that to, because we are family members now, I didn't want that to succeed that, so I could deal with them anyway. And when I'm talking about them,
Respect. Yeah.
of course, super homage.
Yeah.
Because these watching these guys, and this, especially my mentor here, it just was a great feeling. So, you know, start recording now and, you know, doing my thing, and like I said, sound system. And for me, sky is over the limit. Orbit, beyond orbit. Beyond orbit. I just want to make a super impact in what my contribution to the culture. And just encouraging, don't care what color, where you come from, it doesn't matter. I don't even care if you're African or you're not an African, it doesn't matter. Pursue your goals and your dreams and be the best version of you. And once you're the best version of you, you can output it to others. I hope they would gather and say, okay, this is what LeeMajor did to Screechy, whoever did it. I don't have to follow them, but I could just make that momentum in my mind. Possible, because you can do it. Just don't give up.
There you go.
Stay focused.
Listen, I know, it makes sense, right? That's the biggest thing. So the question I had, and thank you, the question I had, what is the biggest difference between reggae, which I'm familiar with, right, and dancehall, which I'm understanding now is like a whole different push. It's a whole different thing. Because I'm used to Bob Marley, right, and Shabba Ranks and Shaggy, and then so dancehall is the same, but I'm hearing that it's a little bit different.
In my view, like the term dancehall, like that becomes like a genre was created by just the people, because the dancehall was the place you go, and what they have as what you know as reggae. People separate what is reggae and what is dancehall. But what is reggae? Always playing the dancehall. Well, as a kid grew up, that was a dancehall. Everything played. But the rapping part of it somehow end up bearing the title dancehall music. But it was all one. But I heard somebody say once upon a time, one of the veteran dancehall artists, one of the elder, say, one music, no know what them a talk about dancehall and reggae, no, the place of dancehall, but I said, if the people created a genre, like separate, and that's creative.
Yeah.
So I honor that, and I salute that, because it was created by the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a separation.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, but to identify what the rapping part, where you're just chatting and rapping, I don't mind I don't mind it being a title.
Okay.
And if the title is dancehall, so let it be.
Yeah. What were you saying, Red Fox?
Yeah, so I was going to say, if you want to differentiate in any form of way, reggae is more, slow.
Yeah.
One drop,
Tempo. Okay.
more relaxed.
Yeah.
And it speaks more of the political issues, social issues.
If you want to differentiate, that's
If
okay.
you want to differentiate, because we do it as well in dancehall, but it's more understandable when we're doing it on reggae, because we're able to express ourselves as more English,
Right. Okay.
because we slow it down. But when we're doing dancehall, because of the patois, we're going fast.
Yes, and that's where I be lost at. And I
Yeah.
rewind that, because I didn't understand what he said. All I heard was boom, boom, boom.
No, that's what I was trying to say. As Fox said, the slower part, the singing.
Yeah.
When any Jamaicans sing, not chatting, not rapping, when they singing, it's English, because English is our standard language.
Yes.
Patois was created by the people again, just so the slave master couldn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
So it was just that in school, nobody writes patois. Well, a lot of Jamaicans, if you ask them to write something in patois, they don't know how to write in patois.
Okay.
Yeah. But they speak
it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so what Fox I said,
Yeah, so, as I say, with reggae even, so you'll be able to create more melodies that, even when you're expressing patois, you're able to comprehend.
Understand, right?
Yeah.
It's more composed.
And then, the dancehall is more of the traditional African drum.
Okay.
The tempo.
Yeah, the tempo is moving.
Yeah, it's a more spiritual,
going,
movement of it, And also I want to add to this conversation about, as you speak about the future, we must understand as well, there's children that is involved. Because I feel like, I like the idea of what Knight Rider said about grandpa. Because I feel like we X out the children when we're talking about the success of everything. Nobody's speaking about the children. Like, there's a time when an artist have to be a father.
Yeah.
Right.
And nobody want to talk about being a father. Everybody just want to talk about getting to the mountaintop. But what happened to the generation that's coming up? You have to understand, we came from an era of super dysfunction.
Yeah.
Like, we are coming from slums, as some would call it. We are coming from, very tough environments.
Yeah.
And there's an era that we had to express ourselves and get away from there. But there's children that we're raising that we have to make sure that they're not a production of slavery.
Right.
We're not trying to breed any slaves.
Yeah.
So even though dancehall and reggae may have cooled off within a particular time period, that time period you can say we were planting seeds.
Yeah.
Right? And then now the seeds are flourishing and you see the music is growing again. So there's a time and place for everything. Sometimes it may slow down, but there's a season. And I feel like the season again for dancehall and reggae is now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I like that.
It's slowed down for the artists, but for us as the band, it never slowed down because the music is still.
What we made is there for you to just reflect on.
It's timeless music.
Right.
And by the way, I'm a 3-time champion in grandfathership.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, grandfathership.
I'm a 7-star general.
You're a 7-star general.
7. I got 7 grandkids.
What about you, Red Fox?
No grandkids.
No grandkids. Okay, not yet. All right.
What? I must.
You too young to have grandkids.
Yes, I got two.
You have 2 grandkids. Okay.
That's
and-
2-star.
I don't even think you have children. Yeah, you have children. Okay. You have 3 kids. You look super young. You look super young. I see your grade, but I know.
and I must add also that
Are you?
because
Okay, yeah.
I must add also because Screechy and I just collected awards from I cannot pronounce it. It's a Latino award show.
Okay.
And Gringo. And Gringo.
It's the first reggaeton artist that is called Gringo.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
we are a big part of the beginning stages of reggaeton.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
We were
Yeah,
super
because
instrumental.
you know, because as he says, Panamanian, you know, we were all in the same Brooklyn pocket, and that stemmed off from what we were doing.
So reggaeton is different than dancehall?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
It's
it's
Spanish.
It's just a Spanish version.
That's
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the base.
and there's a particular jump pattern
Uh-huh.
that came from Dembo and Posa,
And our song, yeah.
from
Okay.
the song that we did, Pum Pum Shots,
Uh-huh.
the drum track.
Okay.
Yeah, that groove
Yeah.
is what they
Okay.
use over and over again, like Dembo, the Shabba Rankin, and also the Atmosphere, Posa.
yeah, the drum pattern, yeah.
So you guys have created a new genre.
We are
So
a
we
part of that
were
movement.
It's amazing.
we
Yeah.
were awarded recently for
Uh-huh.
to being instrumental
I think
in
we
Yeah,
the
were-
development of
congratulations.
that.
Yeah.
I think Screechy and I and Supercat is the first artist to perform in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Because
Yeah.
we had a promoter called Gungi Rivera,
Yeah.
and he's the one who took us to like a lot of the Latin clubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was performing in Washington Heights,
Yeah.
at the Octagon in Manhattan, and you know, in front of the Puerto Rican, Dominican, Spanish Harlem,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you know,
Inside Puerto Rico
crossing the
itself.
music over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
and by the way, Fox, I just recently found out Gonge himself, the promoter, Fox, recently told me like, cause he took me to Puerto Rico like 5 times.
Yeah.
After that major show with Supercat and Onyx and these guys. So he took me back to a club, and he recently told me, "Oh, you remember that? Time we went to Puerto Rico the last time? That was in the 90s." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You remember the guy who opened the show for you?" I said, "I don't know.
But you have so many, right?
He said that was Daddy Yankee.
Oh, okay. That was Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said that was Daddy Yankee
Uh-huh.
opened the show for you. I just said, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't even realize that, right?
No,
At the
At the
time.
time,
he,
at
he
the
was,
time.
he wasn't Daddy Yankee at the time. There was
Okay.
no name. He was
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
They was
He
pushing
was
him.
Little Yankee.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question to you guys. All right, this is for the artist. Well, you're new in the game, so my OGs. Is there a song in your collection that didn't get the push at the time that you think that if we were to go back and listen to, we would appreciate?
Yeah.
What song is that? So people could go back and look, check it out. Why not? Let's run them streaming numbers up on it.
Can I interject?
Oh, you should. You ask DJ, you should.
Of course, that's correct. That's what I want to
Yeah,
defend.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, there's a song that Night Rider sing with him and the rest in peace, lovely arms. It's called Pretty Lady.
My pretty lady, yes, my pretty lady.
That was a tremendous hit for me and up to today, because when I'm playing on the radio and stuff like that, I sometimes particularly just play like the hits, because I don't want to get the people lost at times, because they might feel lost. But that particular song, I act like it's new. So I play it like it's a new song. So that for him. Now Red Fox, me, okay. Red Fox has a great catalog, and it's like there's so many that I really wish that to me could have really went out there in the world. But this is I really don't want to say this song, but I'm gonna say this song.
Let's say it, yeah.
This song, it was a song it's called Crab Loves.
Crab loves?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Crabs.
Crabs. That's one of my
When
favorite
you get
songs. That's
Yes.
This young man here, oh my God, is like, yes, he's very articulate with words and very smart. So that song there was one of my favorites, besides Come Boogie Down, but that was a song to me. The teacher here, oh my God, we can't. There's a song that he did and it never came out. Right? He said he was gonna bring it out. The one about.
Oh, the singing.
Yeah, we talk about.
My heart is filled with so much love. It's joy and splendor with you.
Girls.
I feel just the same today as I felt my initial encounter with you. And I know.
There's a part in the song where I talk about you selected by the Father. I gotta get that part there.
Oh, I said,
You wasn't picked randomly.
I said, heaven must have opened the door and sent it to me because you was carefully selected. This didn't happen randomly. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's one of the best love lines
That might be my caption.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you because I'm saying to myself, if me and my lady have a problem,
Send it
I'm
out.
just because Father selected you to me.
You say, heaven must open its door and send it to me.
Yeah.
And who wrote that?
I wrote that.
You wrote that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like these artists here, and they're gonna tell you their own version, but to me,
That's stuff for you.
that's for me. But I think I give the best output because I'm the selector.
But you never did put that song out.
No.
Is there a way for me to find it today? After listening,
no,
watching this interview, I want them to be able to go find these songs.
No, well, I did it for a label called Living Room. Rest in peace, Barry, because that was his label. But it never came out. Somebody told me, some guy on a radio station told me, Barry gave me this song, he gave me a song on a CD that is wicked. So I don't know if he was trying to create a buzz while he prepared himself for a release, but it didn't get released. I'm currently working on a new production because it's still
Sounds good to me.
So me and my cousin working on the production, live music and stuff like that. So it's funny you brought it up because we're in the process of doing it for ourselves.
So now you know that it's requested.
Yes, exactly.
So what's your favorite song? What song? I mean, not favorite, but one of the
No,
songs.
it's a lot of songs I wish if the public could enjoy because I love. And one, I'm not just go to one.
Okay.
And it's a song I did back in the 90s, because those type of concept was always like some of my favorite when I'm dealing with social commentaries and stuff like that.
Yes.
So this song is, I look on the world and see what I go on the world. I shed blood for money. Me get up this morning and fry 2 eggs. Looking at the cupboard and I can't find no bread. The weight hurt me, I water one shed. When me go in my pocket and come up with thread. And so those concepts, I always love those concepts.
Still relevant.
Yeah, because these concepts, to me, I always look at it from back then. My mind always tell me these condition we're living in is not about to end no time soon. So, as we go along, these songs is going to be relevant. That's why Bob Marley is still relevant.
To this day.
Yeah, so always, those concepts are always dear to my heart.
So when the music comes from your heart,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, it's going to always mean something.
Yeah, man, and it derives out of experience. Yeah, even if it's your personal experience or you're witnessing something, it's still your experience. Yeah. Yeah, man.
What's up?
Come on here for Clubhouse.
I want to hear the crab song a little bit.
We gonna Google it.
Yeah. So, I'm a strong believer, first and foremost, that if a song was destined to be a hit, there's nothing to stop it, right? First and foremost. Because over the years, my experience, it doesn't matter how much you have in the budget. If the song is not a hit song, right? It just don't go anywhere, right? Sometimes you as an artist feel like it's the greatest song. but the public don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I have to respect that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, for the say that first, you know what I mean? But if I should say a song that I really love, one of my songs that I feel like, because it's big internationally. Like if I go to Chile, if I go to Mexico, if I go to Europe, but within the United States, because what happened is a lot of conscious records, if it's not California, or, you know, Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, up in that side, you know, West Coast and stuff like that. And the East Coast, like New York, is more like, you know, we need the energy up, and, you know what I mean? And every now and then they accept a conscious record. But consciousness is something that it lasts forever, but it's a slow grow. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm ready to hear consciousness, because most of the times I want to feel ignorant. You know what I mean? I want to wallow into all the sex and, you know, everything that you can think about. And then when I get a little moment where I feel like I want to save my soul, I go and listen to some, you know, roots and consciousness. So one of my records that I feel have that vibe is a song called Real Born Soldier. It's called Soldier, you know, which I also have a video for. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, it's speaking about the social issues, about what's going on with, you know, the people struggling as far as, you know, what the government is doing and what I feel like we should be focused on, and, you know what I mean, to build a better environment and get ourselves out of this slavery mentality. You know what I mean? So just being a soldier, rebelling against, but once you start to rebel, then, you know how that goes.
Can I interject?
Yes, sir.
You also have music out there with social commentary and stuff like that, dealing as Fox, conscious music, as we label it as, that has all the elements to make you think and party at the same time.
Yes.
Right?
Magic in the man.
Keep the mind engaged,
And I'm
but
happy
you're
that-
still having fun.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you said that, because my present song,
Yeah.
which is Good with Jah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't even do any major promotions. And when I look at the stream,
The traction.
when I look at it, when I tell you, there's almost every country in the world that is streaming the song.
Your name whole way.
But besides my name, the record itself has a life that you can't even explain. It's just, it finds people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The vibration of it just find the people. Because when I look at it and see some of these countries, I've never heard of some of them. Like I had to Google, where is this country? Where is it next to? So, you know, I see that record, it's a conscious record, but it also has that feeling that Screechy is speaking about, that feeling that Bob Marley was a master of singing a song about consciousness, but make you want to party to it at the same time.
Make your bodies like a
So, you know, that record is doing pretty good for me.
So
Alright, think about New York in the 80s,
Okay.
90s. Foreign no paved gold and no bed of roses. To make a money, you better have a business. Collecting bottle or a sell Wrigley's. If you make that money, you have an underprivileged Mr. Mayor. What you gonna do about this subway dweller who living in darkness and living in hunger? To make a money, you better have.
remember that.
Yes.
Mr. President, what you wanna do about the sidewalk resident living in?
Remember
That
that.
goes present to this time.
It does.
That's
It's
what I'm
very
saying.
true.
It's-
Timeless.
Yeah.
Understand?
Timeless.
I didn't put it out,
You were ahead of your
but
time.
I wanna put it out.
Put it out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's to find the right producer, the right promoter, to push it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I
because
know
it's
within
relevant.
myself.
Yeah.
That
Make
Oh,
it.
yeah.
be a hit.
It's relevant. It's
Super.
relevant.
Yeah, it very, very, very much,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
with everything going on.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, John.
Just gonna say, John.
John, welcome to the family.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, he's here just taking it all in.
I mean, I grew up listening.
Listening,
to
I know,
Yeah.
right?
When I hit high school, I went to Boys and Girls High School. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So
Big up, boy, like
they did the mixtape thing, cassette tapes, like they said,
Yeah.
and you just hear like what they do is like a cycle, like a cipher.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
just hear them going and going, like, what is this?
Yeah.
But it's on the beat. Everything is fire. I'm glad to be. I'm honored to be sitting here.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect,
Yeah.
man,
It's
respect.
like a soundtrack to my high school
Yes.
years, my youth.
Yeah.
Because I definitely was posing off in my profession.
Yeah.
Man, listen. My father, where you were with them?
By the way, people, for the record, they talk about high school growing up on our song. For the record, we did that song when we were 11.
Oh, okay. Okay. You all look amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Well, my first record
Thank
came
you.
out while I was attending high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was attending New Utrecht High School.
Yeah. Oh, you went to New Utrecht.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
What
first.
high school you went to?
Prospect Heights.
Okay, you was right there.
Yeah.
Right up the block from me.
Prospect Heights, yeah.
Yeah, I live in Evansville.
Oh, you from Evansville?
That's right.
Oh yeah,
I got a question for John
Evansville.
John.
That's where I used to live.
Yeah, you used to live in
Yeah.
Evansville,
What
yeah.
building? I'm
11
in
McKeever
I'm in
Place.
77.
McKeever
Oh.
Place, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go on Erasmus.
Oh,
I'm from
okay.
Erasmus.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother didn't want me in the neighborhood. She
Yeah,
sent me
I know,
all the way to
I
that with Swazo and Kev.
Yeah.
So I have a question for John John. So John John, with this being like your inspiration, right? As really, how can you? Well, how do I want to say this? How can you, contribute to what they have for the future, right? And what are your plans for that?
To contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a
'Cause-
great listener.
Mm-hmm.
I like to learn. I like to receive knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you'll grow or get to be anywhere without listening or taking heed, taking the example.
True.
That I think that's been one of my successes
Yeah.
of getting, moving around, maneuvering,
Yeah.
and to contribute to the future. I just hope to just be accepted. That's all.
You're here,
Yeah,
so
I'm here.
the acceptance is real,
Yeah.
right? Already,
Like
yeah.
you were saying earlier about
Yeah.
I'm not Jamaican. I'm not from, the full. I'm from the Caribbean, but not, mine is more Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just that, to me, music is a language we all understand. It shouldn't
Yes,
matter where you
Yeah.
it is. Yes.
It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're feeling it, if you like it, let's just go with
You
it.
can be a part of the culture
Yeah.
no matter where you're from, yeah.
Right.
I was from Earth, we was from Earth.
That part.
You know what I mean? Regardless of Jamaican, Panamanian, whatever, we are just from Earth.
The Earthlings.
We
It's
all
just a
one.
bunch of colonizers come
Right.
create
Right.
names and make you
Okay,
feel.
so
You know what I mean?
I'm not
Yeah.
a musician, I'm not an artist, but just from my perspective, with what worked in my personal life, is I'm always open to hear what the younger people have to say with certain things. Because we were taught to do certain things and we know things of one way and they
Yes.
have a simpler way to do things nowadays. So just, be open to working with the youth and have
Yeah,
them
of
kind of
course.
like showing you different techniques and things like that because
Yeah.
I became a business owner
Mhm.
and have several businesses because of my kids.
Right.
They taught me
Right.
how to, you know what I'm saying?
Each one teach one.
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it sounds weird that they're teaching me how to do certain things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and like I was telling the guys earlier, that I watch certain things that my son does, and I will go and order things and incorporate it in my personal business as well. You know,
course,
so
yeah.
so that's where you fall into line with certain things because
Yeah.
there's new programs out. You don't need to boop boop boop. You could just press this now,
Right.
and
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what
So-
it is.
A lot easier.
Cause when you look at it, as you said with the kids, you learn from the kids.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people don't observe that. They don't realize that. So we learn from our kids as well.
Yeah.
We are their teacher and they are also
Oh yeah.
co-teach. Just like me and you, we are co-creator with the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You were saying something, Jordan?
Yeah, as far as that, the same thing. Same
Yeah.
thing, just learning from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like we were saying earlier about them collectively getting together and doing like the tour thing or like Wu-Tang does.
Yeah.
They're selling out and they're moving around. They're about to do
Yeah,
their last album.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
If you have any connection, I have some Wu-Tang dunks. I
They on to the next one. I done left them.
I recently did like a small. I was part of a showcase, and again, there's a whole generation that knows the music but don't know the artist.
Yeah.
Screechy had performed, or he just happened to be there. I was performing at a place, and I do a live reggae band. So he comes up to the mic, and you know, it's people my age, younger than me, a little above me, and they looking at him and they like, "Yo, who is this?"
Right.
His beat goes on, and he just starts going off, and everybody like, "Oh!" And they just start taking out their
they
phones, and
recognize
everybody
it
they
immediately.
forgot who was there. It was cool,
Yeah.
but that's a great thing with it.
Yeah.
It brings us together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter,
Right.
again, where you're
Right.
from.
Yeah.
It's like last year, I performed with the Wu-Tang Clan in Staten Island last year because they have like a Wu Day.
Mhm. Yes.
So I end up, I wasn't on it, but Capadon brother, my name is like tight.
Come
So
on in.
he
Yeah.
called me and say, "Yo, Screech, the boomer," they call him the boomer. So call me up, big up the boomer. Call me up, I said, "Yo, we're having something tomorrow, whatever, if you could come to him." I said, "Of course." When I went, and not with the intention, like I just went to enjoy the atmosphere, right? But anyway, he called me up when they on stage. They called me up, and it was hardcore hip hop crowd. But when I start singing the song,
They know it.
you hear the whole place singing. Oh shit, yeah, Staten Island. Yeah, man. So big up the boomer.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
man.
I don't want to keep you guys because I know, we got
Busy.
big things
Right.
tomorrow
Yes.
going down in Atlanta.
So thank you for spending time with us.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
One
I'm glad
thing-
I got to meet you all.
Of course.
Yes.
I just want to thank you all for this platform.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
we all, things are not automatically just given to us. You see what I'm saying? So the platform is very humongous. Thank you very much. We got Swazo, Classic Makers. And I want the people to definitely say about that. Check out my new music, because I have a lot of new music, a lot of new production.
Okay.
And I have a new song called Party Turn Up. And in
Yeah.
real life,
Wow.
so when you get a chance, an opportunity, look me up on Spotify and all leading outlets, streaming outlets, LeeMajorDeBoss. A lot of new music coming out, and hopefully a Screechy that already blessed me with tracks, and new tracks for Screechy, and hopefully I get Red Fox and Night Rider to bless me, and even John to come bless me with
That's
some
right.
new track, 'cause that's what I'm all about, like you said, the youths. And also my son, he has a new song coming out called 10 Toes.
Okay.
I'm producing, so I'm always giving the youths an opportunity. It's not no
Yes.
self-praises.
Collaborative,
It's
yeah.
not nothing about looking hot. I'm just this music nature
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to the appealing ears.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where can we find you guys on Instagram, Facebook? Like, what's your markers? We'll start with John.
My Instagram is John JOHN underscore JON _ music. It's MUSIC.
Okay.
That's my Instagram, and on Facebook I'm John Ruiz. You can find me on iTunes, Spotify. I have a song called Your Song. So you spell my name JOHN, John, and Your Song.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You can find me on WhatsApp, Rohan Baker.
Okay.
Use my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you spell Rohan?
So you know Facebook.
ROHAN.
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
Baker.
We gotta get to
Facebook.
Instagram.
I stay away from that.
You don't do
I stay
Facebook,
away
Instagram?
I stay away from TikTok. I try to stay away from all of that. That false. It's all false.
We gotta get your music on though.
Oh, okay.
It's it's
Yeah,
about
you're
the
just gonna
marketing
use
for your
it for
music.
marketing and promotional purposes. You don't have to use it for your personal, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So yeah,
Yes,
this is
yes. You
this
don't have to fool
is
around.
the new way of
Yeah, I know
connecting, you know?
promotion
Yeah,
and
yes.
stuff like
So
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we gotta work on you a little bit.
Okay.
Red Fox.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at Original Red Fox for everything, right?
Okay.
Instagram at Original Red Fox, TikTok at Original Red Fox 1, Facebook, The Original Red Fox,
Okay.
and also have a personal page, which is Gareth Shelton, Original Red Fox. What again? Spotify, you can check out my profile. You'll see Red Fox profile, you'll see the whole catalog there. You know, likewise, all the different digital platforms. So that's me right there.
Okay.
And for booking, then for booking, originalredfoxbooking@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Okay, before you move on,
Okay.
my email address
Okay, all right.
is mrturniton@gmail.com.
Okay.
Turn it
Mr.
on.
Turniton.
Mr. Turn It On. Yeah.
I mean, and the switch just will light up the lawn. Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, it's pretty much the same as Red Fox. All platform is the same. Screechy Dan, @Screechy Dan. The name spelled SCREECHYDAN, because I changed the Dan to DAN from 85, DON. Because back then people used to clash,
Yeah.
and I didn't want nobody add the E to the N and call me Screechy Done.
Okay.
So I say, take the O out and put the A. So that's why I changed it. So
Okay, that was smart, yeah.
yeah, so Facebook is the same, Instagram same, Twitter, it's X now, right? Yeah. But by the way, I'm looking for it and it disappeared since it changed. It
The
was
X
gone.
platform?
What?
The Twitter, the app disappeared.
Oh,
and-
is it X?
Yeah, no, not even the X.
They took the X.
President agreed.
Somebody-
Oh, okay.
They-
So,
they-
oh, okay, so we
Yeah.
might not be having, okay,
That's
all
right.
right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That didn't last long.
No. So you know, Apple Music, same name. I keep it consistent.
Yeah.
The name like Spotify, Apple Music, what it, Deezer. That's the name, right? Deezer, and pretty much all of those
All streaming
platforms.
platforms.
All streaming platform. Yeah, man. And you know, the email screechydan@gmail. The names stay
Everything the
consistent.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee Major, same thing, but there's LeeMajorDeBoss, so it's LeeMajorDeBoss, one word. So LeeMajorDeBoss is not broken up. So LeeMajorDeBoss on all social outlets.
Okay.
Thread, Facebook, let me see again, Instagram,
This is
everything.
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook. And if you want to contact me also, my Gmail is LeeMajorDeBoss, one word, LeeMajorDeBoss@gmail.com for booking. And you know, we're multi-talented, so we're there for you.
Yeah.
And also, I'm also a stripper, so if you look at
Okay, I'm so looking forward to all of you guys tomorrow night.
Okay.
I'll be in my pom-pom shorts.
Hey.
I gotta bring it out one time for the one time.
I guess I gotta find some, right?
Yeah.
so Bliss, this you can't miss.
At all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can always find us at FIYE radio.com and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All right.
Take care.
Be
Hey,
there,
guys.
don't be
Take care.
square.
Thank you guys.